讲完了，今天 we starting with the yeah。4个 R， 还有 MVP、NSP， 然后还有另外一个 WO withdraw offer。Yeah, no, NSP 跟 NBP。Notice buyer to perform, notice seller to perform， 然后 CR cancellation。我要看时间上不够，我就尽量一直讲。对。SPRP 讲过了。前天讲过了。呀。今天讲那个4个 R， seller responding for buyers replying。等一下我会再印 WO， withdraw offer 有了吗？上次我给你们 withdraw offer WO， 上次我印给你们没有？你们你还要我印吗？你看。等一下我再印那个，等一下我再印给你们 NSP 跟那个 WO 有没有 ？WO 有。不 ，withdraw offer 有了哈，然后 withdraw offer， 然后那个 CR cancellation。好，没关系，我等一下我到的，等一下我那个我讲到的时候我再印，没关系，我现在先对，你可以先印其他的 RR 跟 withdraw offer， 我这2个会先讲，4个 R。因为这个 request for repair 跟 responding request for repair 这个会常用，对啊，你几乎常常每个 case 都会用到。Seller responding 对 ，OK。After the RR, if the seller either they accepting all the requests or rejecting all the requests, that's on the RR when you do the check mark. Third check mark is I'm gonna responding with RR. That's the seller responding, buyer's reply, request for repair. So seller, how are they responding? If they did not responding, accepting all, or if they do not accepting or rejecting all, then you gotta have to tell them and say, then what do you accept? What do you not accept? Half. What you see here. See if like this one, if on a paragraph 1, starting at paragraph 1, seller agree on what? Okay, all buyers request in the request for repair, except number item 3, 5, or 6. That's why when you do the request for repair, you itemize. Don't just tell I really hate someone just show me on a request for repair. See inspection report summary. I tell the buyer's agent redo it. What do you mean tell me to see summary? That means everything you want to ask for repair on the summary from inspection report. Come on. 怎么样？够不够？我借你的一张拿回来。对呀，他这个放在一起。都有了。哦 ，OK。那问题是我刚刚2套是他们的，我要还给他们的。我就给1套啊，就拿了1套。我给你的所有纸你先给我，因为我是你2个人要的。我知道，都在一起的，都在一起的。2个一样的是。So that means it's like, go ahead, itemize all the requests for repair on each item you want to repair. Because on the inspection report, on the summary, because if you look at inspector, for their liability, they were listing everything they see. But doesn't mean everything you will request for repair. If you tell seller repair for everything what you see on the inspection report, boy, you just watch what seller responding. So it's not gonna happen, when they respect, yeah. 明哥，等一下我再印嘛。不是，我要还给他1套，不知道是哪一套。有差吗？怎么样？不是，我跟2个人要，我有1套，他有1套，就是你就再印。对， 都是在应该都一样嘛 ，Yeah， 都一样。So if you itemize everything, just just in case if you like accept, and if just in case if you want to make the differences, it's like, okay, number 3, what exception? Number 5, what exception? Otherwise, you gotta, if you did not itemize it, then you gotta have to explain everything. 那个不重要了。So that's you can accept those items, but for those items doesn't mean the seller doesn't want to taking care of it. Seller will taking care of by using the credit. So you can repair half of the items and credit some of the item. So overall, seller is still taking care of everything what the buyers request, on this case. Or, you do vice versa, do whatever you want. But so that's why you can do it, accept items on B, close of escrow, for credit buyers, how much? Or if the amount's too large, if the credit too large, and the lender, it may well start suspicious if you are credit too much money to the buyer for tour on closing costs, you better reduce the price. You better reduce the price. No. Request for repair, everything you don't have to. If you send to the lender, good luck. You might kill the deal. That it's okay. I won't do it here. I will say reduce the price, but I also issue what? Addendum. Addendum, you can do anything you want. You issue addendum and say reduce the price. I hate reduce that word. Sometimes seller doesn't feel comfortable. Reduce. Adjust. Adjust. Okay. So if you say the purchase price or selling price adjust to, hey, here's a new price. Then buyer seller sign it, send to the escrow. Escrow will issue the amendment, and this is going to be the new price. Lender will know, everybody know, on the same page. Okay, don't show them this. Lender doesn't like to see it either. Even they know you have it, because when you show to the escrow officer, and escrow offers possibly smarter escrow officer, they will hold it. But not all the escrow officers are pretty smart. They will send everything to everybody. They say, that's it. You might kill the deal. Because lender will start questioning, what's wrong with this house? Boy, you got to start explaining. It's not going to, looks pretty. And the other, if you have other, items or something, it's not covered by A, B, or C, that you can put on the D. Okay, that's usually, they will put others. Credit need to be disclosed to buyer's lender legally. So that's why we exchange addendum to show lender instead of showing this. Legally, credit need to be disclosed to buyer's lender, and total contractual credit may be limited pursuant to the agreement. The credit and price reduction amount may not be enough to remedy all defect or repairs. Because of this part is a credit. Did I say anything on the repair? No. But if I send this to lender, lender will see the repair, and they will start asking the RR. They will start asking inspection report. Instead of that situation happen, I just strictly change to addendum for credit only. I just put show credit. Then what's the lender see? Credit. All lenders see credit. Doesn't see this repair. Even technically, you want it legally, you want to show the credit on the part B, but I don't want to show part A to the lender. That's how that happened. Yeah. So that's what we call strategy. Sometimes if the newcomer, they didn't know, they just send everything to the escrow officer. Escrow doesn't notice and send everything to the lender. Oh boy, they start asking questions. If you're the listing agent or if you're the buyer's agent, you may just kill your own deal and just make the deal a whole lot harder to close it. Yeah. So that's, basically that's what we learn from experience. 2, seller agreed to only apply if the buyers remove in writing the physical inspection contingency. Same thing like RR. If the seller accepting all requests, then buyer, you have to be, what do you in return? Remove the CR. I mean the physical inspection contingency. Because in this field, you always remember two-way street. Give and take. Give and take. I don't always give it you, but I will not always taking anything from you. It's always two-way street. If you make it a one-way street, man, you don't want to create those, environment and either, that means someone lose, someone win. So when two-way street is win or lose, it's actually win-win. You create a win-win situation. That's a give and take, two-way street. B, if you mark here, remove those contingency identified on the attached CR form, so which must be signed by the buyer. So A is remove writing and physical contingency. B, they want to see the CR form with the buyer signature. C, release seller and broker from any loss, liability, expense, claim, cause, action regarding the disclosure condition of the property. So we're trying to release a liability, okay? If anything wrong, anything happen later, don't sue us. That's it. But if like someone still acting us, that's our E&O insurance kick in. Yeah. But E&O insurance only cover you are intentionally or someone just, find you trouble. That's it. Then you don't have time and energy to deal with them. That's how the E&O insurance attorney kick in to cover for us. Why every deal we pay for the E&O insurance for, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Physical inspection contingency, that's, if you look at the CR, they do have that check mark. Yeah. Huh? Favor the inspection? No, basically you are remove that. I mean, you already inspected. You satisfy the inspection. So what do you left? So you cannot keep on telling the seller, say, I don't, because the inspection, I'm not satisfied and I cancel. I said, well, you already accepting what my proposal, what my offer, what you canceling for? No, usually the period of time, the very first one, sometimes the listing agent may kind of force you. You do the inspection within 10 days, sometimes even 7 days, if they write it on the counter. On the purchase agreement, that's within 17 days with the appraisal, everything. But some of the listing agent, they just want to make sure and say, if you don't like it, go ahead, cancel. But all we waste is maybe 7 days or 10 days instead of 17 days. Some of our buyers, they have a tendency to just delay and delay until the last minute. They thought it's actually more favorable to the buyer. But you run out of time to negotiating with seller. Did you ever thought about that? The later you do the inspection, you file a request for repair. And seller say, hey, I'm getting into my charge. Then if like, before the seller responding request for repair, can seller issue you a notice bad perform? Hey, 17 days coming up. Can seller do that? Sure. Then what's the buyers? I'm running out the ammunition. I'm running out of chips to play with seller. Seller, give me the MVP. Because if you wait until the last day, 17 days, you issue the RR, and seller say, hey, this is an MVP. If I don't repair anything, either you buy it or you cancel. Seller will give you the MVP and tell you to remove CR. And I'm not going to responding the RR. Is the seller obligated to responding the request for repair? No. No. Clearly, if you read the form on the RR, you'll know that. So if seller is not responding, that's a silent ignore, rejection. Seller is not obligated to respond your RR. So you don't cry and say, how come seller is not responding my request for repair? And you know what seller's answer. No. No. I'm not going to do any repair. Especially you wait until last minute. If you are put in the first week, if seller really want to keep you, seller will do everything they can to keep you. But wait until the last minute, 17th day, you run out of time. Yeah. So don't wait, especially inspection. You know, if like if I accepting or if I have the offer, seller accepting our offer on Friday, great. We'll do the inspection on weekend, right away. If my buyer doesn't like it, we don't even have to turn in the initial deposit, isn't it? Because that's by Wednesday. Or I can issue the request for repair Monday or Tuesday. Hey, seller, what you're responding? Hey, that was affecting, am I going to turn in the initial deposit or not? Who is in charge? Buyer. That's a difference. That's how you play buyer and seller's role properly. Then time is crucial. That's why. So don't cry if, oh, then I'm wasting 2 days. No, actually, if seller accepting the offer on Friday, it's more advantage to buyer. Some of the buyers, they will think, I'm losing 2 days. I cannot do anything since, escrow is not open. No, I look a different way. That's great. That's more advantage to my buyer. And B, so if the seller responding, buyer happy, great. Then A, buyer accept the seller's response. If you used to be, we have to do the check mark. You know what? Lots of people forgot to check. So now that become default. If you don't check or do anything, hey, let me you're accepting once the buyer signed it. Sometimes we look at it, either seller signed it, oh. So just like RR, if seller signed it without doing anything, what's that supposed to mean? You're accepting all. Default. You accept all repair. Same thing right here. Buyer, you don't say anything. You sign it, oh, you're accepting all the sellers responding. Okay? So that's why if the default, that's the seller accepting. Buyer is accepting all the sellers responding. Or B, buyer accept sellers respond with the following modification. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Remember, if you look at it, I have 3 items accepted. Can buyer insist particular item what I'm rejecting for? Bang. Because this is more like a offer, counter offer situation. Seller, buyer, and seller. See that the difference? So can buyer propose? That's more like a buyer's counter. Oh, I for 3 items, I can only accept 2, but 1 I insist you have to do the repair. Then you put the modification of, say, item number 3, for example. On this case, it's a GFCI outlet. I can probably, accepting others, but I definitely want the seller to do that repair, particular item repair. You put it right here. Whatever particular item. Or C, buyers withdraw request for repair number 1 and make a new request in the attached request for repair number 2. Why are we doing that? Because if it's going to be cause so much mess and so many items on the repair, and verbally, if everybody have, on the same page, then you reissue the request for repair. Otherwise, it will cause trouble. I say, wait a minute, what do you want to repair and what do you don't? And how much of the credit? Or so you clarify everything. Sometimes the seller say, seller sometimes will give you 2 or 3 proposals, and they cannot write it, on the responding for repair. They say either you can take all credit, or you want me to do all repair, or half. Then you're gonna have to redo it on your request for repair, asking different way for the way you want and the seller can accept. Then that in that situation, seller can just accepting the request for repair number 2. Bang! You don't have to respond. The seller doesn't have to respond the RRR number 2 again. So if the so this is more like a seller counter, buyer's counter situation. So that's another negotiation. That's why I'm telling you, open the door is easy. Every agent can open. But it takes the experienced agent, educated agent, to negotiating, not pricing, also the repair. And also a lot of things could be appraisal down in the road. Or sometimes whatever disclosure statement, what you see. You can all negotiate it. Sometimes even negotiate insurance credit. Why? Well, because a claim, insurance claim. And the buyer cannot, insure on the particular insurance agent. Then if they change a different agency, sometimes they don't have an auto vehicle and the home insurance discount. They're not asking for compensation from seller on the differences, at least for 5 years, for example. Then to make what? Buyer happy. Because otherwise buyer will cancel. When buyer want to cancel, if we can use a monetary to resolve the issue, use it. And move on, next case. Don't stick there, okay? If the couple $1,000 can resolve the issue, move on. I won't move on if it's 10,000, okay? I make nothing. No way. 2,000, 3,000, maybe if really critical, if the bigger case. And I figure, I still got, 2/3 left. Okay, I will probably do it. If I have to lose 1/3. Yeah. That's the worst scenario may happen. Because if the buyer want to cancel, then my effort has become nothing. We don't get paid in processing. We only get paid when it's closed. So if down in the road something happened, if we can use a monetary and you think it's reasonable, use it. Then move on, next case. Two, if the buyer accepts the seller responding 1A, and if the seller agrees below the buyer's modification in 1B, and the buyer 1 will be deemed to have withdrawn all requests for items that seller has not agreed to, and here remove the physical inspection contingency, hereby remove those contingency on the attached CR form, which is signed by the buyer, and 4, agree to the release above. That means release sellers, all the liability. So that buyer sign. On the bottom here is only if the checks on 1B. That means seller have to agree. Buyer recounting, on the paragraph 1B. That means I insist seller want to repair that particular item. Then seller has to sign it on the bottom. Okay, fine. I'll do it. It's just like back and forth, right? So that's the only part. If you check right here on 1B and seller accept, then seller sign on the bottom. So either accept or reject. See that? Two different. Either seller agree, then you check. Seller agree the buyer's modification on the terms and provided above, or seller rejection. Seller does not agree to the buyer's modification. So if the seller rejection, well, either you take the way it is as a buyer, okay, or you send a request for repair again on number 2 to the seller, okay. So this is negotiation part. No. Buyer always need to sign. Doesn't matter. A, accepting. B, if the insist whatever modification, or if you want to issue, why the buyer need to sign? So you notify sellers, I'm going to issue another request for repair. Okay, you basically just notify the seller, I'm going to issue another request for repair, so both parties will agree. So as long as you keep the channel open, you still have a chance to resolve. I'm afraid it's like sometimes like buyer play harsh ball, and seller play hard ball. Bang! It's a deadlock. Well, when it's a deadlock, what should we do? When it's a deadlock, buyer wants seller to repair everything. Seller doesn't want to repair anything. What should we do? Buyer's agent, seller, listing agent will talk. How are we going to close it? Buyer's agent, listing agent, talk. How we do it? Money split, half, whatever the repair, okay? Or we hire the contractor, somebody, your contractor or my contractor, then we split the cost. So make both parties happy. Or should we give the credit for both parties? You have, me have, okay? Talk, okay? 99%, both agents want to close it. And you know what? Some of our buyer purposely leave us that situation. So do the seller. They think, you guys can resolve those issues, agent. You pay. Who educated that? Previous agent. You guys can resolve the issue. Bad. Yeah. Did you ever experience that? I do. Damn it. But I want to close it. If I can split half, 500 each, 1,000 each, do it. Yeah. I don't want it because 1,000 I lost 10,000. Isn't it? We don't get paid like attorney or doctor. If your code didn't get cured, your case lose, they still get paid, did they? Yeah. We don't. We don't close the escrow. We don't get paid. You just work for free. Yeah. Clear on the request for repair. We're going to move on to the next one. Done? Okay, good. This is a form. Probably a lot of people doesn't really care about, but that's withdraw offer. I say, why are we using this form and when we are going to use this form? You guys know? Withdraw of offer. We offering something. Why we need to withdraw? A lot of agent probably doesn't even know this form exists. Okay. Offer and counter offer. Not yet accepted. Mainly what we are using this form is when we do the single counter. Seller, listing agent, we do the single counter to the buyer. Suddenly we receive the offer within 3 days, because when you give the counter, you give the buyer 3 days to sign, right? But suddenly you receive the offer right after you issue a counter, single counter, seller single counter. Some of the agent, they just, I'll give you the seller multiple counter without even withdraw the offer. Is that proper way to do it? If somebody doing that to me, I would do. I'm so sorry, I didn't receive your seller multiple counter. All I received is a seller counter, and this is a buyer sign, and I send it back to you. Hey, wait! I give you the seller multiple counter. No, I do not receive it. I purposely just stash. When did you tell me? When you I emailed it to you, but I do not receive it. Oh, too late. Did you receive my? When seller call you back, that means you are my single counter. You have received it. You have to honor. Too bad. You deal with your seller. You gotta have to sell to my buyer. Without this form, That you know what the mess gonna be. Seller said, wait a minute. I thought we have other offer, we can play with it. Suddenly, why we have to accept this offer? Because, you know, do you think the listing agent will admit their fault? Yeah. But can buyer after them if, you know, I say, I never received the seller multiple counter. That's why when you issue this form, when you have a seller single counter, you have other offer coming in, don't accepting other offer yet. Do not accepting other offer until make sure the current buyer, the offer, they receive your withdrawal offer and your multiple counter offer. When you do the seller multiple counter, what do? I issue this withdrawal offer signed by the seller. I text them, I email them, I call them. So do I have all the three evidence at the same time? Don't tell me you do not receive it. And purposely, I will send this email, the withdrawal offer and seller multiple counter, twice, minimum twice. Don't send it once. Oh yeah, I never receive it. Oh, if I once did not receive it, I understand. Twice. Wow, you think twice. Can we ever send a text message with a PDF file? Do you guys know how to do it? Yes. You don't know? Okay. I often send the photos, just like you know how to send a photo on the text, right? Same thing, PDF. When you open the PDF on the phone, then you forward to message. I send the text with this to you, not just email. Okay? So not only I send twice to the email, I could be sent twice to text message. Don't say you did not receive it. Because text message definitely more secure, more, I would say, promise than email. Email, probably 90%, you'll receive it. Text message, 99.99%, you'll receive it. Don't tell me you did not receive it. I attach the PDF file to the text message and email. Just want to make sure you receive it before you sign the single counter back, sell a single counter back if the buyer accepts it. Okay. So even seller doesn't know what to counter on the seller multiple counter. Can you still issue the withdrawal offer first? Absolutely. Do it this right away. So you leave a buyer's agent have no choice waiting for your seller multiple counter. Instead of they have a seller single counter in hand, it become useless because you withdraw it. Okay? That is the most crucial time you need to offer that. Other than that, because why they don't call withdraw seller counter, or because this offer, this form you can use it withdraw purchase agreement, withdraw buyer's counter. You can withdraw any offer, not just a seller counter. So we'll continue. So buyer has made an offer date. So that's an offering date, like the purchase date. Okay, on the purchase agreement, the first day. Then you mark it a California purchase agreement or other. Doesn't really have much other unless you want to market a buyer's counter or something. Okay. Then you time, address, and B, buyer or seller has issued a counter offer dated. So if the seller issued a single counter, you date it on that. Or buyers could be issued a buyer's counter. Can buyer withdraw the buyer's counter? Sure. I do the counter offer again. So I withdraw my previous counter. So if I offer say $800,000 to the seller, and my buyer doesn't feel secure, can we add another $10,000? Sure. So you withdraw the $800,000 offer and replace it with the $810,000. That is a buyer withdraw their own buyer's counter, replace another buyer's counter. That's the time to use it. Instead of you put buyer counter number 1, $800,000, then buyer's counter number 2, $810,000. Seller said, I don't even have a counter yet, and you already sent me 2 counter. So you gotta have to, sometimes make it clear to the seller. That's a proper way to do it. Okay, but I would ensure more than half of an agent, they will not do that. Okay, if you start using this form, the other party, the other agent will say, oh, did we ever have this form? Withdraw offer. Because sometimes, everybody only using whatever they know about it, but we got a lot of form we're adding in, down in the road, more and more form. Just like used to be, we don't have a representative of capacity form. So we have to sign it, blah, 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 in attorney in fact, as his or her attorney in fact. I don't know, did you guys remember that? You probably do. I do. Used to be, we don't have a representative of capacity form for power of attorney or any entity or any company or any trust. So beneficiary or the power of attorney or whoever the manager, they gotta have to sign it as his or her attorney in fact. Used to be, that's how we sign a signature. So when you're adding those forms, you don't have to be, you can still sign your own signature and attach with that. Same thing on this. Used to be the counter is a mess. Counter offer is a mess. Then seller argue, buyer argue, everybody is, it's like fighting each other. But if you're using the withdrawing form, date it, and why they have time? Because time is crucial. When buyer or seller sign it, the time is crucial when you do the withdrawal counter. C, according to the term of an offer or counter offer, the offer or counter offer has not yet been accepted. If it's already accepted, send it over, too late. So that's why if seller give you a single counter, I would encourage a buyer, sign it, if the buyer can accept it. Sign it right away. I don't want seller have a chance to withdraw this offer. And when you sign it, what do? Email back to the listing agent right away and make sure listing agent got it. If you're the buyer's agent, I will do. Okay. Even I'm on the golf course yesterday. One of a form, escrow definitely needed, and I have to deliver. And nobody can really help me. And what do? I set up everything through my iPhone. I play, I put a stage, okay, and I start using it on the DocuSign, send it to the buyer and send it back to me. So they can record it today. I'm still enjoying my life. I know it's a little bit harsh. But I get the job done because escrow officer crying for help, listing agent crying for help. Well, you cannot rely on all the TC, right? Isn't it? You're going to have to step in. You cannot rely on your assistant. Maybe they're not available. They're on a lunch break. Yeah. It is though. And what do? I have to use my iPhone to set up the DocuSign and let the buyer sign it. Get the job done. Yeah. So that's why the situation, I had those situations before. When I receive a single counter, and if the buyer, they accept, they would know how to do a DocuSign, I set it up through my iPhone, then shoot it to the buyer, sign it right away. Pew. Maybe within an hour, I'll just send it back to the listing agent if they accept it. I leave, the listing agent have no room accepting other offer. If they could still accepting the offer just for backup. Okay? Don't send it for them, multiple counter. I know some of the listing agent put it pretty sneaky. That's how we got taught before. If somebody called in, we can send in a multiple counter, then I verify with the board. No, if you do that, you're a violation. Yeah, if somebody after you, it's a mess. Because you only receive one offer. If they tell you, okay, show me the offer. You only receive one offer and you issue multiple counter offer to buyers. That's illegal because you're lying to the buyer. Oh, I received the phone call saying they're going to submit the offer, but they never come in. Nobody believe your BS. Oh, yeah, they sent me the text. Yeah, but you physically did not receive the offer, and you cannot issue the multiple counter. You gotta have to. When somebody, if you want to issue the seller multiple counter, you gotta have at least 2 or more offer receiving in hand. Then you can issue. You receive the email, or we don't know. As a buyer's agent, we don't know. We don't know. How, well, I know it's like, if you really want to file a complaint or anything, if they did not accept your offer, or sometimes you really don't know, really. They will not show you another offer because that's yeah. Well, if they really want to challenge me, and you want to be honest for something, you could probably send them a last page of purchase. It's not gonna hurt because last page doesn't show anything besides buyer and seller's name. That's fine. That you're absolutely true. If you request that, some of listing agent, they may work with you, they may not. If they do not work with you, and they will not accept your offer, you're out. Because what you show to the listing agent, you're a nasty person. You're trouble already. You start challenging me. I know as a buyer's agent, it's pretty vulnerable on this. It's a catch-22. But I rather sleep well if I'm the listing agent. I don't want to lie. You can bluff, but you cannot cheat. Okay? That's always I'm telling you. You can bluffing, but you never lie or cheat, because that would cause you more trouble later on. Because you want to, you all know that if I lie to someone else, I have to use another lie to cover that. So I don't want to do that. But it is though, a buyer's agent, if they really want to challenge, and depend on the personality of a listing agent. If somebody really challenged me, I could probably show them one page, like last page of purchase agreement. You do have a day and time. I do have another offer. On the other, no name on the buyers, right? But only got a listing agent and the other two party of agent. It could be dual agent, or it could be the other agent. Then what do I show? I do have another offer. Well, I know, I know, I know. But I mean, if somebody really want to challenge you, and you sense that as this buyer's agent could be hard to work with, are you going to accept the offer, his or her offer? You have a second thought. If you can work on the other offer instead of this offer. So if you really want to challenge something, be careful, because you may get something other unexpected in the return. But I mean, you will learn is like, if you, because you issued a single counter, because most likely if we only have one offer, most of the time listing agent using this one. When we changing from single counter to multiple counter, we'll have to withdraw the offer first. Oh no, if it's expired after 3 days, yes, you don't need to. But you're waiting for 3 days? Yes, yes. But who knows? That 3 days, a lot of things could happen. Okay? Sometimes I got it, the offer, just a couple hours before other offer coming in. Whew. Yeah, I mean they don't if you did not receive it, yes, you can accepting the second offer, because if you withdraw, play safe. Unless you are sending out the withdrawal offer and the original buyer's agent receive it, and you issue them the multiple counter, you can change it all the same wording like a single counter, but become a seller multiple counter. That means seller has to acknowledge So then you can compete with other offer. Other offer may not counter. Then seller make a choice. You want to accept the original buyer, what the way you want, because you counter the same thing. It's not you change anything, but it just become a single counter to multiple counter. That means seller has to acknowledge that particular counter. And the other offer doesn't really have to counter, but legally, yes, you do have to offer in hand. Seller can accept the other offer on the spot or accepting the multiple counter on original buyer. Yeah. So it is though. I would say 90% all the listing agent using this to withdraw the single counter, replacing with the multiple counter. We'll continue on that. You'll see that. On the paragraph 2, that's how that happened. You see that? If you mark 2C, they already prepare for. Well, this form is actually really designed for the listing agent, as you can see that, right? Okay, we'll continue. Withdrawal and revocation. The buyer and seller making the offer and counter offer hereby withdraw the revoke it. B, confirmation, withdrawal, and revocation. This document confirmed that the offer counter was orally withdrawn and revoked on blah, 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 the date. By who? Okay, and give it a notice to. So this is, can it be orally withdrawn? Yeah. But still, seller need to sign it. Okay. Yes. Yes. So basically, for example, you receive it and you call or text right away before this form send it out. Can you do that? Yeah. And that's what considered what? Oral agreement, isn't it? I already told you to withdraw. I already sent you the text to withdraw. I already sent you the email to withdraw because seller haven't get a chance to sign it, but I'm going to send you a seller multiple counter instead of you continue using that single counter. That means I already orally withdraw. Got it? Yeah. When you receive it, I'll call right away. Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. It doesn't matter. That offer coming in as less or worse than the original. Right? What's that created situation? That's right. Urgency. Oh, man. Other offer coming in. You don't even know that offer may be better or worse than yours. But the original buyer start getting scary, especially this market, seller's market.
Is there any way the buyer has the same leverage, kind of like signal to the seller, we have multiple choice?
Sure, you can do that. Smart move. You don't have to offer this property, one house, right? How many offer you can send? Any 3 or 4, whatever you like. Been there, done that. Do you think buyers just like, oh, just offer one house? No, I can offer multiple house. If they love multiple house. And if you got 2 responding favor and to you, then you tell buyer, pick one. Now we gotta have to pick one to open escrow. Sure, verbally you can tell them that. It's not just the seller's choice. When the buyer's market happen, that's how we tell seller. Oh, we also offer other offers. So if you want to issue us a seller multiple counter, be careful. Am I kind of threatening them? Yeah. Even I'm the buyer's agent. I don't really have to buy your listing. I can buy other properties too. Especially when we have a short sale market, 10 years ago. 3 or 4 offers, that's normal. We don't even know which one we'll get. We don't even know which one we open escrow to with. That's normal. Am I bad? Yeah. I never say I'm a nice person. when it comes down to the business. I'm a really aggressive agent, like a wolf, lone wolf. That's how I describe myself. I work alone as a lone wolf. So that's how that happened. You can kind of tell a listing agent when it's buyer's market, but don't do anything at this moment though, unless your purchase is like $1 million of house, and they're pretty sure that you are the only one offer. Then you can kind of say, okay, yeah. But if any offer like under $1 million or even below on the medium price offer, don't do that. You rather begging listing agent, please, please sign my offer. Or anything you want, you let me know. I'll work with you. That's how I would do. Yeah, that's why I say before accepting the offer, listing agent is like a tiger. Once they're accepting the offer, open escrow, listing agent become cat. You better behave. I'm running the show. Buyer. I'm selling for 17 days, 21 days, isn't it? Yeah. So role play differently. Once they're accepting offer, yeah. And C, that's you replace a multiple offer, counter offer. The counter offer withdraw and revoke in the place with the attached multiple counter offer and data. Okay, the new date. So when you signing this, you also issue if the of the content of the counter did not change it. You just copy everything to the seller multiple counter, send it with withdraw offer and multiple counter at the same time to the original buyer. But before you doing that, call them right away when you're receiving offer, and you kind of describe what the current offer when you're receiving to the seller, and you ask seller, do you want to change it to the multiple counter to others, because I think we need to withdraw first. Then seller said, go ahead, withdraw. You gotta have to know what to talk to the seller and what form we have available to provide to the seller. Then you talk to the original buyer orally, over the phone, text message, email, because sometimes you might have to some of the seller doesn't use DocuSign, they have to sign in person. Then it's going to be delayed. If you sometimes that during that delay, the buyer's already signed the single counter back. Oh no. Whose fault is that? Listing agent. A lot of people are thinking listing agent is easy. Personally, I don't know what you guys feel. Listing agent have more pressure than buyer's agent. Right? Notice that? Definitely. Listing agent have more pressure, not just pressure from other buyer's agent and pressure from seller. Two pressure. Buyer's agent only have pressure from buyer. That's about it. Yeah. But listing agent have two pressure, one from seller, one from buyer's agent. Yeah. If you mark as C, well, yeah, but I mean, you could. They didn't say you cannot. They say withdraw on what date and replace. But by the time you sign it on the seller, that's a time and date. Okay. Or you're already telling them, or you can tell them and say, if they say for this is today on this time, seller signing on this time. And seller doesn't know what to counter yet. But you can you announce, say like March 16th, tomorrow. Tomorrow I will give you the seller multiple counter. Can you do that? Yeah. Today I withdraw the offer. Tomorrow I will give you the seller multiple counter. So if you want to counter to both parties, so maybe the content may change a little bit, so that you can announce to the original buyer, I will give you the new multiple counter tomorrow, but not today. But today I only give you the withdrawal offer first. Yeah, good question. You can certainly do that both. Yeah. I bet you nobody using this form before, right? From here, no. But we do have it. And legally, if we use that, you sleep better later on.
Can you use this form? Let's say you made the offer.
Uh-huh.
Can you use this form to withdraw original offer, then come up with second
Oh, sure. This form can do anything.
That would make more sense than just give another counter with a lower price.
Well, you could. Can you withdraw? That's why they call it withdraw offer. Offer including what? Purchase agreement. Buyer's counter. Buyer's counter, you can increase, raise the price or reduce the price.
In case the seller sign it.
Seller haven't signed the buyer's counter yet. Well, but I mean, buyer's counter, it doesn't really make much sense. Is because, for example, if the buyer raise the price, and if the buyer doesn't feel comfortable, can buyer cancel? Yeah. But if buyers still like the house and they will withdraw the buyer's counter and with a lower price, sure. You don't really have to do it to withdraw the purchase. That's going to be too much hassle. You got to retype everything again. If out of term and condition, you can just put in the counter, make it easier. Withdraw the original counter and say, oh, I feel more comfortable with the longer escrow date, for example. Now, and you forgot the counter at the original counter, buyer's counter number 1. Then you can send in the buyer counter number 2 and withdraw the buyer counter number 1. Sure, you can do that.
But you counter yourself, your own purchase agreement with lower price.
Oh, you could do. They didn't really, stop you to do that. Yeah. So that's why you have buyer and buyer signature here. So that means buyer can withdraw buyer's counter or even purchase agreement. Okay, because you can issue here. Buyers has issued a counter offer, but if the not counter offer, don't mark it there. Okay. Then you can say the here revoke by, okay, and give it a notice to the listing agent, or it's like you can say, withdraw the original purchase. Usually we don't withdraw the purchase agreement. We just withdraw the counter, buyer's counter. Yeah, with a lower price, as your question. Because other term and condition you can also put in a counter too. But usually why you don't withdraw purchase? That means is if you withdraw the purchase, that means you're not in position with that. You know what happened? It'll leave you pretty vulnerable. Then seller, if they have other offer, they can just accept it. They don't have to counter anything. Bang. Because you withdraw already. Yeah. So I rather leave my foot in. Hey, wait. I still have something to tell you, but my purchase is still valid for other term and condition. Maybe a purchase price is not agreed, or term, or days, or escrow date. I still leave my 1 foot in. So rather don't do it on purchase agreement. Instead of you replace a buyer's counter. Yeah. Better. Uh-huh. I would do a number 2. They didn't really clearly telling us, but I rather keep a number 2 as because it will not confuse. If when you got 2 number 1, which number 1 is which? I rather don't do that as because if I replace a buyer's counter number 1 and I replace another new buyer's counter number 1, and make sure you have a different date if you do that. Because that may cause some, because they didn't really say you have to redo it, number 2 or 1. But I know on your question, it could be an argument to say, well, without the number 1, if you withdraw the number 1, can I replace another new number 1 legally? Yeah. But if you, sometimes it may cause a, confusion. But on the other hand, without a number, if you withdraw number 1, how can you come up with number 2? Because the number 1 doesn't exist. Then you come up with number 2.
So once you withdraw it, you don't give that document when you withdraw it to escrow.
But sometimes, well, because you're still in negotiation, escrow doesn't know anything yet until you finalize. Then listing agent will open escrow. So escrow doesn't know anything. As long as you don't confuse with listing agent.
So once you open escrow, you don't need to give them the document and the one that you already withdraw, right?
No. Because what happened is, for example, if I want to withdraw the buyer's counter, I will call a listing agent. I'm going to withdraw the buyer's counter number 1, and you want me to put the number 1 or number 2. And sometimes the listing agent says, okay, just go ahead and put the new buyer's counter number 1 with your withdrawal offer, with the original counter number 1. Then you date a different date. Then when they turn into the escrow, they just turn in the new counter offer number 1 if the seller accepted. So it doesn't confuse the escrow officer. I think I would do that. Yeah. Clear on this one? Okay. Good to know. Huh? Okay, we'll continue. Then, do you guys, I'm going to start with the MVP. You guys all have it? MVP? NSP? No, not SIP. That's a seller in possession. That I will cover later. SIP, did I say that? Did I go over that form yet? Not yet, huh? Okay, that's okay. We'll go over it after this. MVP, NSP, CR, and CC, cancellation. Because sometimes, after the printing, I figure I need to add it to you guys, and I just, yeah, add into the form. Solar purchase replacement. I already got that. Contingency removal. Yeah, what do you cover that? Yeah, NSP, I will print it to you. But how about MVP? Notice prior to perform. You guys have it? Okay. And then I'll go ahead, do it on the CC cancellation. Let me see. Oh, not yet, not yet. Hold on. I'm going to click it. Hold on. I'm going to click it. Contingency removal, NSP, NBP, and I know I added cancellation. Yes, last night. What do I do it? Cancellation. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Cancellation contract. Okay, let me go ahead and print it on this 04 form. How many copies today? I'll print it at 12. Okay, I'll print it at 12. Just, yeah. A perfect dozen. Okay. Okay, fine. Huh? Hello. What's that? Oh, that's a mobile. No, I don't need it. This. But where's that? They're supposed to jump in the printing screen. What happened? Yeah.
Sometimes security notice.
Where is it? Okay. You know what? Let me.
I think it's a
Security
security thing.
thing? Okay. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, wait, I hear.
Is it printing? I didn't know it's a Firefox. Personally, I don't really care much on a Firefox. I rather either Explore or Safari. Not sure it's a printing or not. Because usually it should jump in the screen anyway. Is it printing? No, huh? No. You know what? I'll go and shut it down. I'll open it up. I Explore instead of Firefox. I didn't know. They're using the Firefox on that. Some people like to use it. I'll go ahead, close it, lock it out. Okay, that's using this. This one I know I have no problem with it. If you can take the photo, on the Z phone, you got to be famous though. Top producer. They will invite you to, take the photo on the Z phone. Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, let me click print. Print. Okay, then I click the form. I know the contingency removal, cancellation. Notice the solo to perform. Notice by to perform. Okay, so we print next. Next. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. We print 12 copy. 2. Print. Okay, we're printing. So we'll go ahead, take a look on the notice prior to perform. Notice prior to perform used to be as very simple form. Now as itemize everything. Because it used to be when we got a notice prior to perform, it's only one page and with all the content, and we only issue when the remove contingency, remove all contingency, not just one. Now you can remove partially, so that's why you have notice prior to perform number 1. Used to be we have just a notice prior to perform. That's it, one page. Now you have 4. Notice prior MVP have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to, do it separately. Okay. Because this is actually really looks alike to the CR, with all the check mark. So you can partially have the issue the buyer, which buyer to perform, you are using it. 1. And they say, okay, California purchase agreement. It depends, what you have, because sometimes it could be income property, commercial property, okay, or vacant land. Okay, if you are doing the last, if this is the only MVP you're gonna send to the buyer, tell them to remove all contingency. You mark it right here, all contingency. You want buyer to remove all contingency, but a lot of a listing agent, they forgot this. They just send the CR directly to buyer's agent, to buyer, and then they cry, say, how come the buyer doesn't sign it? Well, why? Why should I have to volunteer sign a CR? You don't even send me the MVP. You sending the CR doesn't give them the pressure. You gotta send an MVP. Then you will get the buyer's pressure, because that means you're telling the buyer 2 days later, if you don't sign a CR, seller has a right to cancel you. Deliver that message loud and clear. Doesn't matter which item or all contingency. So, for example, if you put an counter offer, say buyer need to do the inspection within 7 days, and after 7 days, doesn't buyer never doing the contingency, then the listing agent will say, well, are you going to do the inspection or not? Oh yeah, we're going to do it. Or buyer say, no, we don't want to do it. Okay, you don't want to do it. You know what? If I'm the listing agent, I'll send the what? Waiver, inspection waiver to the buyers. Sign it. Don't come back to cry. Oh, wait, I want to do the inspection. Too late. You already signed a waiver. And I don't care you have an RR or what. You got nothing. because you waive the inspection. Okay. I want to do the inspection. Oh yeah. Okay. Then I will issue them this. Notice buyer perform for what? E. Buyer's investigation, including insurability. Did you ever call your insurance company right away? See if the property insurability? Yeah, probably not. Buyer's investigation. That is the inspection and investigation. I'll give you 2 days. You better call the inspection company. Show me you're serious. Otherwise, 2 days later, you still did not perform what I'm telling you. Seller have a right to cancel. Can they? Yeah. Because you can serve the buyer do anything. And if they don't deliver, you cancel. Okay. Oh, wait. I think they are printing. Let me make sure. I think it's all finished though.好了，我知道，都还在，总共我有印12个 copy。呀，OK， 谢了。Hello, Albert. Still printing. Little slow. Yeah, our internet little slow. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Technically, yes. 5 days. You still have 5 days. But they send the notice by the buyer to perform, but they just don't know what they are talking about, what they are doing. But if usually the termite is not a big deal, big issue. I rather don't use that to fight with the listing agent. Hey, look, I should have 5 days. I know. If you are then if that's the case, if somebody sends you notice buyer to perform, and if you're still missing the document, what do? Next form. Notice seller to perform. You didn't give me the document. You tell me to notice what? Perform? You tell me to remove all contingency. You're still missing. Here. Okay? And sometimes, put it this way. You haven't even given a OA or HOA document. You tell me what? Oh, no. So that's the time. You send the notice seller to perform. Seller to perform, same thing. They have the same item. You tell seller, you give me this though. So that means if you don't give it, I will cancel you, not just you cancel me. Yeah. So you gotta have to know when to fire. Okay. That's your ammunition. So it's not like listing agent. It's not buyer's agent gotta have to take everything from listing agent. You still have an ammunition to fight back. That's a notice seller to perform. That's why I'm gonna go over that form as well, because everybody only know the notice buyer to perform. For something, you do have a notice seller to perform too. So here, as you can see, the contingency could be loan, appraisal, disclosure report, or HOA disclosure, or investigation, or insurability, title, sales, property, selling of buyer's property. We covered that, right? That's a COP, sale of buyer's property. Buyer need to sell their property. Then this is something you serve the buyer. You better remove that contingency. Remember that form? If the seller receive another offer and the buyer certainly they don't have a 17-day to sell, they either have to remove the contingency or cancel the deal. Okay. If the seller accepting the other offer as a backup, then they can force the original buyer. You remove your G, sale of buyer's property. You what if the buyer need to sell their own property? Yeah, they okay. If they still have other contingency, But you have to remove this first. You're gonna have to promise seller, I will buy your home, even it doesn't matter if I'm selling the property or not. You better have the money, buyer. Okay, if you don't have the money, you better cancel. Because without selling your property, you cannot buy a seller property. And if you remove that, and later on you say, hey, wait a minute, my escrow did not close, so I don't have the money to buy. No, seller said, I don't care. I can still forfeit your initial deposit. That's a liquidation damage because you already removed that. So if you do have a trouble with that, especially at the beginning of the escrow, and certainly the seller accepts another offer, and you become very vulnerable because I don't even start it for a few days, and I don't even know am I going to close or not. Then you asking buyers, say, you want to take the risk or you rather play safe? Depend on down in the road, what's going to happen. That's why usually if I have that situation, I would not tell the buyer offer anything until getting to remove a buyer's contingency. Buyers, they're buyer selling the property. If they are getting close to remove the contingency, then I can have my buyer to start, offering other. So actually it will make my offer stronger. Not only that, I have the closing estimate come with it to ensure the listing agent say we will close. We will close the escrow. Because listing agent, what I tell you, listing agent will call your escrow, your existing escrow, to find out what's your ETA date of closing. Yeah, because two escrow binding together after I open another escrow like that. Just like, if the seller needs to finding the replacement property, same thing. Okay. Two escrow. If the COP and SPRP together, that's a three escrow binding together. One fail, everybody fail. Okay. So this is the contingency. And H, I, or G, if you have other contingency, may happen, something. It's not listed here, you can put it up yourself. If whatever you request, for example, can buyer request any special disclosure to the seller, what they need to find out? And then you can put it here. Then seller say, okay, I already answered your question. Are you satisfied? You can have the buyer remove that particular contingency sometimes. So those are leave it three blank, or anything, a document you may have. Okay. And this is a little bit, you gotta have to know this. Contractual action. What's a contractual action? First of all, initial deposit. Well, did you ever use that? Well, you could now. 3 days. Wait a minute. You don't have an initial deposit yet into the escrow. Who's going to cancel? Seller want to cancel, but before you cancel, what do? You got to serve them legally. It's not like, phew, I send you the cancellation. If the buyer say, wait a minute, you don't even tell me notice buyer to perform. If I know the form, if somebody want to serve me, and my buyer haven't turned it in to the initial deposit, then you cancel me. No, you cannot, because you haven't even give me the notice buyer to perform. But when can you give it? That's okay. I know you probably want to ask. Usually when we serve this, you have how many days? 2 days to perform. So after 1 day, you still did not receive the initial deposit. Can you give the buyer this? Yes, why not? 2 days. Second day, I give you initial deposit. That means when the third day arrives, seller could cancel you. That means I can cancel you. Buyer, well, legally, when you don't have the money, the escrow will still issue the cancellation. You still have to cancel, or buyer have to issue the cancellation to seller, but prevent the buyer delay. So this, if you serve the notice buyer to perform on the first contractual action, then seller can just bang cancel the buyer. Legally, you can do that. Yeah.
So the same thing with the inspection contingency, right? They can serve on the 15 days and then.
Or whatever the counter. If the counter offer day 7 days, can I serve you a 5th day? Yeah. 2 days later, hey, until 7 days, then the seller become having the right to cancel you because you did not perform the inspection. Or if you didn't counter anything on the day, then yeah, 15th day, then you can actually notice buyer to perform of accept the loan, right? Everything here. Default, 17 days, accept the loan. Yeah. But it's a 21 day, then what do you can serve? 19 days. You click where? All contingency. That means 2 days later, hey, you better perform. Sign the CR. Because I only give you the notice buyer to perform. Tell you remove all contingency on 19th day. So 2 days later, you better send me the CR. Otherwise, seller reserve the right to cancel you, buyer. M, increase deposit. If you do promise the seller, I will increase deposit after 1 week later, for example. And after 1 week later, you did not send in the money for what you promised them. Can seller cancel you? Yeah, especially a multiple offer situation. Northern California, they may happen like that. I can guarantee you, their transactions are worse than ours. Competition is awful over there. Form of FVA. That's what FHA VA loan disclosure form. Suppose you need to sign it, notify the seller, and you never delivered that to me. Okay, that's the FVA form. And a loan application letter. If you did not send me the letter for pre-approval, suppose you send it in. Usually on default, what? 3 days you gotta show the proof of fund. 3 days you need to show the letter from lender pre-approval. Usually on default, you did not show me. And same thing, P, down payment verification. I just mentioned that. And all cash verification. Show me the money. You don't show me the money. How can we continue on this escrow? So usually why we want to see everything, down payment proof of fund, or all cash, or pre-qualified letter before we accept the offer. Otherwise, I gotta have to make more trouble to tell the buyer, to perform. Return the statutory disclosure. Okay, a lot of buyer's agents think, am I holding the disclosure? So, you holding for what? Seller can serve you. Hey, time to return my disclosure. Can you serve that? Yeah. Don't delay. I mean, are you satisfied for the disclosure or not? If not, go ahead, cancel, or I will cancel you. Return the statutory disclosure. And return the lead disclosure. That's the for the lab-based paint. Okay. Receive for increased deposit. That's just actually related to the M. Escrow evidence sales of buyer's property. So that means form of COP. So if you did not turn in the estimate closing, now there are time they want to ask you the estimate closing and your COP if you didn't turn in the COP addendum. But usually we don't turn in the COP. Usually we don't accept offer without seeing the COP. If the buyer need to sell their property, then I have to see the COP first before I And not only that, under listing, I will call the escrow to verify what's the ETA date and how's the current buyer, their loan processing, everything, all kinds of questions, on those before accepting the offer with the COP. V, deliver the representative capacity signature addendum evidence of authority of act. Why? How do I know the signatures, valid? If you don't send me the representative of capacity, like power of attorney, if you are the board a member of the manager of the LLC or corporation or whatever, you're gonna have to send the article and the representative capacity form or living trust, right? So sometimes, you know, that's why I rather get all the form, you know, required to open escrow to accept the offer instead of later on I have to, you know, keep on asking all different form. Yeah. So that's a way I practice though. Just like, do you think as a listing agent, they will accept your offer without seeing minimum proof of fund and pre-qualified letter? Hard. Unless you know that listing agent and you know your buyer, it will deliver. And you promise the listing agent, you accept it first, I will deliver to you. Because now we're just issuing. Pretty much, if you can pretty much orally promise and the listing agent know you. So you gotta have to keep the reputation. People will check on you. Oh yeah. I didn't know when is the people check on me, but at least I, so far, knock on the wood, I keep a good, really good reputation. Sometimes I say, James, you know, first time I finally meet you, but I already checked your background. You got a great reputation. I said, oh, okay, thank you so much. I said, okay. You just never know. Yeah, people will check your background, call around, see somebody know me or somebody worked with me before. So every transaction, you perform your best, okay? Because it will leave a really good impression to other agent. And next time, if their co-worker in the same office or their colleague, and they may call around, oh, you worked with James before. How was he doing? Is he fair? He will stash your offer. Yeah. W, that's, you know, if anything, you know, you want the the buyer to perform. Paragraph number refer to the California Residential Purchase Agreement. Applicable paragraph number for each contingency or contractual action, the CAR contractual found in the contract paragraph matrix, CPM. The contingency, those are based on the RPACA. But also we have income property, we have commercial property. So if anything different than what we asking for, then we have a blank right here. You list it yourself. Okay. Sometimes for example, seller. Okay, tenant estoppel. Those are usually is the buyer asking for seller, or if the commercial one, then we probably if they're buying that. Oh, sometimes they buy business license, for example. It doesn't list there. For the commercial property, if he's selling the retail store, you want to make sure, or the buyers, sometimes their permit will go through. Sometimes if the warehouse, you have to make sure the fire department will go through the inspection for the property. That's a buyer's job. And you gotta have to hire the specialist to check on the fire sprinkler system. See what's a flow, like this. What's a flow per minute? What's a pressure? That's a different field. I learned. I really learned, you know, one time, you know, went with the inspector over there, and the inspector taught me a lot. And I'm so glad, you know, what's a flow and how many kinds of flow, and you can see, oh, the pipe is like, you know, it's a the 3/8 inch, or you know, a 3/4 inch, or it's a 1 inch, depending on the pipe. You know, how big is the pipe and how big is the main pipe, and they have a decal over there. And what's the fire department were looking for? Because if you're the buyer's agent, you know what to prepare. And when you show, you know, basically, you know, the buyers pay for the money for the inspection. What I learned most, I do, because I'm following the inspector around. Definitely, you don't check it. You don't turn on the water. No. You look at it, the main switch. You know, every building, if it's a commercial building, you all have what we call riser. Riser means the big pipe, you know, coming on with the fire. You know, and they have you check with the pressure. They have a 2 gauge on the pressure over there. And they also have an alarm bell, because if the fire, you know, get on, and legally the little alarm box, it will notify the fire department. So we'll send the fire engine, you know, within maybe 10 minutes. And if it's a false alarm, good luck. You'll get citation for that. What? It's a false alarm. Fire department is only here. You got a fire engine come over. Nothing happened. Oh, dang it. Just like, you know, when you're home, you got a false alarm. Yeah, they probably got the twice for free. Third time, $50 when the cop come over, right? Police officer come over. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll get the not really citation though. I mean, it's the well, it's the fee. Yeah, it's not free. I know. Just like, you know, when we call ambulance, it's not free. No, don't. That's right. Don't call ambulance. The paramedic people come over. It's free. Okay. Ambulance is owned by the private party, and it's a really great business. It's not free. Yeah, and that's why, you know, that's why when you get an ambulance, it's like, do you need a oxygen mask? No. That's an extra $400, $500. You awake already. But suddenly your $600 bill becomes a $1,000 bill for the ambulance come over. Just haul you to the emergency room. Doesn't even consider emergency room how much going to charge you. You know, ambulance fee is woohoo when you receive the bill. Well, it depends on what coverage of insurance, though. Yeah, on my health insurance, no, I haven't got a minimum. Unless you got a full coverage, it's different. Yeah, just like, you know, your home insurance. How come everybody is claiming, oh, you know, why you pay so much on the premium, and how? Well, depend on how much deductible you pay. Like, I'm stingy, I guess. You know, on my home insurance deductible is $2,500. You can keep it at $500, but you pay more premium, just like your auto insurance too. Same thing. Yeah. So buyer, if you do remove the specified contingency form, CR or RR, and take the specified contractual action indicated above within 2 days, that's why 2 days, default is 2 days. After delivery, no less than the time specified in this agreement of this notice of buyer to perform, seller may cancel this agreement. Okay? You could, but as a buyer, then I will challenge you. Remember the purchase agreement? We have an area. You got to give me 2 days on the default. Everything on notice buyer to perform 2 days, unless you change 1 day. So, and if the seller accept your purchase agreement in 2 days, then you cannot really change here to 1 day, unless you counter them back 1 day. Yeah. Just like seller counter you, say you need to put into your initial deposit within 24 hours on the counter. Yeah, you could. Suddenly you shorten that 3 business days, become 24 hours. You better know. You better don't do that. You know, when you accept the offer on Friday evening, 24 hours. Hey, escrow is not going to open on Saturday. Okay, it may fall into the Monday. Yeah, but if you accept the offer on Wednesday, that means buyer has to be wire the money or drop off the personal check or cashier check, whatever, to the escrow next day, Thursday, for example. If you do counter that within 24 hours or within next day or next, you can counter the next business day. So suddenly that 3 day become 1 day. You can counter that. Clear? Okay. Let's move on to, well, almost time. Seller NSP. Notice buyer to perform, notice seller to perform. I know I live it. Okay. This one is very similar, but the vice versa. See, look at it. It's different what you're looking at. Then you can mark it, whatever is on the top. See the A? Deliver the following inspection report. The seller give me the termite inspection report. That's usually the inspection report we're asking for. right? Okay. B, deliver the full, complete let disclosure. All the disclosure statement, pretty much. And deliver following full, completed statutory disclosure. So B and C actually go together. If seller delay the disclosure, come on. According to the purchase agreement, what's the default day? Seller need to deliver all disclosure to the buyer. What's the default? 7 days. That's a 14A. If you look at the purchase agreement, 14B, that's a 17-day buyer's contingency period. But 14A, that's a seller, contingent. They need to deliver everything within 7 days. Sure. Yeah, that's a bad seller. Yeah, you could. Sure. They just purposely let the buyer cancel. Yeah. Sure, they could. They could. They could. But I mean, it's like that's only on the seller's choice. But listing agent usually won't do that. Listing agent want to close it as soon as possible because what we believe, first offer is always the best offer. That's what we believe. Yeah. And deliver to the following booklet. Guys, that's you want earthquake. Okay. Hazard disclosure booklet. E, deliver the condominium plan development disclosure. You got to give me the OA or HOA document. Don't just, keep on delay. That's why you call escrow. Did you ever order? Yeah, I ordered it. Just wait. Okay. But if after a week later and the seller still haven't ordered, well. Because, seller need to order. Not, if the seller want to say, can I use your buyer's fund? No. On a 7D4, that's a civil code. Paragraph 7D4 on a purchase agreement. That's a civil code. Seller need to pay for it. F, disclosure known the property insurance claim. Yeah. If you need to ask the seller if the house ever been fired, for example, show me the itemized details. Because insurance company, you tell them, insurance company say, wait a minute, they found out this house has a fire before, and sometimes the insurance agent they all have a detail. But I mean, just assuming if you get anything, you want to ask from the seller. Here's insurance. And also preliminary title report. Those are you gotta have a listing agent or seller push the escrow because usually that's an escrow issue. And also deliver the representative capacity, signature, disclosure, and evidence authority and to or act. And if the seller is a trust or company, show me who is signing their signature on the purchase agreement. Is it valid or not? So usually if I would say purchase agreement, if it's signed on the DocuSign, if I'm a listing agent, I'd rather have the seller or the authorized person, the member of the company or power of attorney or the beneficiary on the living trust, sign in the wet ink. I mean, you could put it a DocuSign, but you end up nobody knows is that really who is signing that. Well, unless the escrow. See, escrow, they require the document at that particular form. You cannot DocuSign just like, for the recording form. You cannot DocuSign either. It has to be wet ink. Some of the escrow, they even need original. Isn't it? Same thing. Yeah. It's not every form you cannot really DocuSign. I just protect yourself, though. Yeah. And other disclosure and delivery, if you have other disclosure or anything others, though. Okay, number 2, this is important if you deal with the SPRP, okay, seller finding the replacement property. This is the area you gotta have the seller to perform. 1, remove the finding replacement property contingency and remove of close of replacement property contingency. This 2 is different, okay, don't mess up. On default, removing the finding replacement property contingency, how many days? 17 in default. If you look at the form of SPRP, that's 17 days. And close of escrow, that differently. Well, remember, if you mark close of escrow, that means seller can still cancel you before close of escrow because if they cannot close their own escrow, how can they close the house they are selling to? They can't. They don't want to become homeless. They're selling their home and they cannot buy another house, the replacement property, and the seller become homeless. So those are, to the buyer's agent, you can have the seller to perform that. Make sure they are capable to, first of all, they want to find the property, then close the escrow. So that's a two different separate. Can you separate two other different items? Sure. That become a NSP number 1 and NSP number 2. That's, for number 2. Okay. And same thing here. If you do not take the contractual action specified above it within 2 days after delivery, or no less than the time specified in the agreement of this notice the seller to perform, buyer may cancel the agreement. Then paragraph number referring to RPACA, so you know that. Okay, all the items. So this is the seller's notice seller to perform. I know it's easier than the buyer one, but I know that the only thing we're using this usually when we have SPRP, or if the seller did not deliver any paperwork to you and you want to push the seller to do so. Otherwise, you will cancel, give the seller some pressure. But I know some of sellers, as you say, if they purposely wanted you to cancel, can you play the trick? Yeah, they can play the trick right here. They make the buyer to cancel. That's not a good practice, though, because that will actually hurt the listing agent reputation too. All right. Okay, time's up. Thank you for coming. I will continue, for the CR and cancellation next Tuesday.